last video for a while. I'll tell you why my circumstances have changed today, and I might be disappearing into the care system very quickly. This is about conditional acceptance or offer of a contract by a representative in UK. Well, I'm going about United Kingdom, and if I don't get cut off in stream, midstream, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is my a disclaimer. Anybody under 18, I would suggest not to listen and go away elsewhere. No disrespect. This is to all public and private, public funded companies and private funded companies, all men and women employees, in your status as an employee for a public funded, anything to do with NHS, subcontracted out to private limited companies for profit. I am known by the family of a particular birth certificate known name of the family known by the birth certificate surname. So how I word it on an email instead of the letters, because my limited mobility is extreme now, so I'm having to call the out of hours and emergency in a minute, and I might have to go to hospital. That's a public service, and I'll be signing under duress. Now, when you're in my position, your complexity, joint complexity, illness, disabilities, the only way in contract law and commerce is to set goods and services by signing under duress or word it in an email such a way that your my conditional acceptance of offer, my counterclaim offer, and then you return the counterclaim offer verbally in 72 hours if you can, by setting different terms of consideration of an offer. And this is the subject of medical loan, or 2 subjects. One I'm going to deal with a Millbrook Healthcare Limited, national company, private limited company, subcontracted out goods and services to aid people with disabilities and medical equipment, because you do not access direct to this company without the offer of referral. First, you need the offer occupation therapist, and it gets complicated more, but I'm trying to keep it symbolisation. Now, when I used to sign it in red ink, this is where public servants will question my psychological state of mind, because they will not be trained up in contract law, commerce, trust law, etc. I'm only doing this today to aid anybody else that can lead this on and take further to help others than I. My dental health and my health right now is so bad, I'm not able to carry on with what I've been doing now. So this is the last video stream of this nature. And I'll be getting rid of this smartphone hopefully today or tomorrow, depending when I can get a home visit. Might not get a chance before I'll get ended up in hospital, I don't know. Okay, I was fine yesterday and I'm not today, and it's something serious going on, so I'm got no choice but to ring up condition under us to see if I can get an urgent home visit. I don't want the East Midlands Ambulance Service, certain public sector services, and that's another NHS public funded trust, to come anywhere near my home, because that ends up in a blinking hospital. And then unfortunately that another public funded, a different stream, that stream funding comes from nationally NHS England stream, is all set up in a different funding streams, and contract and commerce and contract law gets complicated. Now, the terminology is always used against me because of this constant certain things going on personally with me, and it's been going on for a long time. Now, disclaimer, I have never been diagnosed with any other presumptions made by a personal opinions of men and women in the job capacity. They call it in the community and statute law, with any man or woman working in capacity as NHS public servants. Let's get that one out of the way. The labels I do have is spec of previous trauma from childhood, attempt on my life in 2002, tort law, that's in crime, statute law, and tort law is tort. And the permanent effect on the psychological, emotional is natural. Unfortunately, the side effects of medications, mainstream pharmaceutical medications, is that if you're not seen to be taking them, conditional acceptance under duress by another national well-known and branches all over the United Kingdom pharmaceutical companies, you'll also get automatically labelled and flagged up as a vulnerable adult with complexity, physical and psychological disabilities. So please be aware of that side. What I'm doing is lawful, and thousands of people know about this. I have got years of experience of doing this, self-taught in knowing the truth about so many subjects. I'm going to keep it simple. Nothing against any man or woman or any of these companies. I'm just giving information how to consideration. It's like consideration of offer contract, okay, of goods and services. Now, this is my medical equipment called a birdie hoist, and the last replacement, emergency replacement, was 2017. Every 6 months it gets serviced. Now, before the men come into my home, they need ID. I had a problem back in March 2018 when they were banging on my window and I was bedbound, and that caused me extreme alarm and distress. And that was deliberately caused, and that was aided and abetted by a certain male neighbour. He knows better than to instruct anyone to come to my private location to bang on my bedroom window when I'm severely unwell. This dental infection is not just in my mouth, it's in my glands, it's in my blood, and it's in my immune system. It's like symptoms of septicemia. So that's what I can describe on the phone today and to the mainstream doctors. And it's making me dizzy, no energy, and I've got no choice between them. I have a choice, by the way, but because of my situation, I need to ring them. And I can't even eat food. I'm on liquids at the moment. So that is on. I have making this public so you know it's me. I'm also commonly known by B.Y, B.Y, and then put 2 dots in front of the by, what I just described, what you're known by. Okay. So I used to do it by paper and by certain template letters, but I no longer do that because 2017 public sector services employees took my thumbprint seal, my copper claim seal with red ink pad, as presumption by East Midlands Ambulance, certain employees. That is also public services, and they took it on their head that the writings had picked up private piece of paper, my table where I am now, without consent, without being able to talk, without getting hold of my sister in Wales, or my son down south, all my other friends. Because I couldn't talk, I could only text, and nobody was helping me. And that was almost this time last year. So I don't want that experience again. I'm trying to work with people now lawfully and honourably. Always stay in honour in your dealings in life. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's very hard work. So, the email today, and by the way, the side effects of medications do affect one's body. I cannot respond to anything until after 12:30, 1 o'clock, till I'm decent, careful, and water. It's taken me longer today. Yesterday, I think the sun and the weather's got affected me. The struggle to sit up in my wheelchair and just for half an hour to go to the local park has knocked me to 6 again. It's knocked me back again. So I've been bedbound all bloody morning, and it's really absolutely just not doing me any good like this. So I need to get a medical review. I'm going on the equipment side, so that's a hoist. I have a medical bed elevator rest that lifts my body up because I can't self sit up, and That got surfaced. I can't do everything in once. Now, what they try and do, these companies, because they work with bulk services, business services, perhaps, what they do not consider, not everybody considers the Equality Statute 2010 of disabled people, let alone anything else. So they've only given me 2 days' notice. So I've responded in time. They responded back, no. I responded today, 2 o'clock, to the offer. What I tend to do, have a recording app, and so it keeps, like for me personally, just to have notes, because I can't keep writing with a weak right side now. And then try to keep a note for diaries, which is very difficult to concentrate as well now. And it's very difficult to try and talk, let alone phone up with the other public services I immediately need to try and do. And I'll come into that in a minute, and I hope I don't get cut off. It's not very good. I don't like the fact that I need now the serious changes in my life. I need the offer of goods and services, and that means linked up services, partnership working, that's how they work in UK 2018, East UK wire. Now, the medical bed raise, and I've got anybody who works in occupation therapy, NHS, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody that's got medical disabilities, you know what I'm talking about. Anyone else, you won't know. This is a specialist medical toilet shower commode. It's got a specialist made for me for my lack of mobility. I can't walk. I can't even transfer no longer independently on my own. It's all changed. So therefore, I need a reassessment of everything. And the offer of those goods and services is conditional acceptance under duress. Okay. And I know these men and women have no authority over me, but they're using statute law to imply they do. Or do expect to operate in a situation like me in the public in trust law as well. The only way to do it is to condition acceptance offer services under duress. And that means they will push their statute laws, their policies, and all their public funded corporations. That's what they are. But some of these good men and women do not know half the things that we awakened men and women out there know about. I'm coming across on the point of view as a physically complexity in one's illness disabilities, because I've not come across any information of people like me that's waking up with various subjects also find themselves in this situation with disabilities. Now, I got one over in 2009. I ended up in a wheelchair in 2010. It's not the end of the world, I know. But the changes affected my psychological mind from being able-bodied to not being able-bodied, and my previous photographs of my model days and PR, TV and television I used to be on those times over the years, I had major difficulty for years to cope with changes. Because of that, the triggers I would get by public funded carers in my home over the years would deliberately be, not everybody by the way, would trigger off words, and that would set me back on a very negative dark path. Okay, for very good people out there, you know who you are by the truth about so many subjects I've learned. I ain't going to go into that right now. You've helped me learn what I know, and I will never ever forget you. I'm not giving up. It's just I have to stop and concentrate on this facts of real life in my situation now. Okay, so that's all I can do. I need to be seen to be engaging with these people I don't like to, but for my health, my daily life, I need to do that. And that would be only conditional acceptance under duress. When you look at what these key words in legalese language as well, Black's Law Dictionary, edition 5th, under duress means by force and cohesion. That's the only way I can access public services in the capacity as a woman of the flesh and blood, and I am living. Because these public services employees sees me as the corporation title of the birth certificate. I changed my birth given name payment of the, in statute law, it's known as criminal injuries compensation for the severe attempt on my life. I survived that. But the 3 girls that died, and I'm not going to go into what happened because it's gruesome, they didn't. And I still live with that effect and the guilt because I didn't trust the public services. I did not trust the police. I didn't go to them straight away because of that. And I always felt guilty. That they died and I survived. So the difficulty I've been dealing with also is to seek for all these years on the final compensation payment of £16,000. Sounds a lot, but with that was going to hire a private company with a terms and conditions contract to get me to a private care home to give me at least 3 to 2 months respite by the coast somewhere in UK with all the care I need and all my luggage, all my belongings in storage while they can come out and do whatever they've got to do to this flat. Conditional acceptance will be under arrest by that. It's been over 9 months. I've been left severely unsafe and in danger in my own home, and nobody will do anything about it because they want to take my flat off me. But I conditionally went under duress by a company known as Home Group Limited. No disrespect to any man or woman, but there are key people behind this, and I know what's behind it. But I'm not going to go into that right now. And it's affected my health seriously. No matter who I've contacted over the months, what's been going on, not one public sector service employee, not one private limited company employee would do anything to assist me, and I know why. But that's not the point of the stream today. Right, so when you keep an email record and you store it, and I'm learning technology by the way, so bear with me, you keep it up on the folder on your computer. That's what I'm going to try and learn with help and support eventually. So I'll get rid of the phone because I don't want that constant pressure when I'm trying to recuperate from operations and things I really do need as well. So conditional acceptance of offer, counterclaim offer means you just offering a different time and date for a service of medical equipment, okay? That for me is straightforward, I know what to do. This repeated merry-go-round with the NHS certain foundation trust, not going to say which one. The employees mean well, but when I didn't know they offered and how a decision was made, and this is what I'm seeking clarification on, that email's not done yet because they're not well enough. When they copy in, a public servant email copy in, you'll notice a trend when they copy in certain other public employees because they know you're waking up to what they're doing and they are covering their backs. I don't know why they do that. It's just the way they are, perhaps, but playing mind games. I can see the trend. So I've got the evidence, factual evidence, first-hand knowledge of all this that's been going on. And this is on the subject this time. People like me in wheelchairs, you can't just get into the general medical dental practices. There isn't services available. And so say you have years and years and years of you're being left with bones left in upper mouth where they should have been taken out with extractions and been left to get infected and abscess. And that's all the abscess getting into your body and affecting your blood and stuff. The only way they're going to assess you for that, for anyone like I, is by blood tests. And perhaps the doctors, the surgeries, the way they are, medical practices, public servants, will say you need to go to hospital for this. And the way they work in the maxillofacial department is over. You know what it's... my sister's contacted me today. My niece experienced of 9 hours waiting in A&E in Wales. My concern, again, when I ended up last year in hospital on an emergency basis there, they didn't have the aids I need, and very good public servants, the ones that wash you and clean you and help you, the basic, you know, well, very important things I call it, They went out their way. Can't thank them enough. What's happening now since last year? All these employing contracts of 9 to 5 doctors that are not English, no disrespect to foreign people, but they have not experienced interdisciplinary reasonable adjustments for people with complexity needs like I. So when you also get porters employed in hospitals, they are making detrimental comments or walk to the stretcher when it's all in your medical notes clearly states you cannot. But what's happening, which should not be happening, the presumption is happening in these medical, whether it's in the community they call it, but in these hospital settings also. This is why I've got an extra king printed out, all the details, what's wrong with me. So it's on record, and I'm going to get my friend to photocopy another copy of that so it goes on their records. The diagnosis I've got, and there might be more coming along the line, and why I shouldn't have to explain myself, there's no obligation, but these men and women in these environments are trained in statute law, not in what, obviously, if you're aware, contract law, commerce and other subjects. So play down what you know, in my opinion, when you're dealing with certain people that you suss out that are not aware of what you know. Because they will try, they're just human nature. They will just make assumption that, oh my goodness me, they know more than I, and just it's trying to get a communication dialogue with these people that are trying to help you. And the only way to try and help you is, despite them being not very nice to you and all these negativity happening to you, it's trying to remember that you're only on this earth for a very short time, and it's very hard to access anything now. Whatever little there is, it's trying to, I know these men and women struggle with caseloads, and thousands of people like me are trying to receive services, conditional acceptance and rest. And a lot of people out there don't know these subjects, but I'm coming from the point of view of fact that I have not come across any channels of people in my position. They might have a family member or friend to help them. My private life arrangements means my friends, they don't have the extra time that I need to do the extra things. I'm left doing it myself. And that's why, unfortunately, I can now, in the mindset, conditional acceptance of offer to be assessed. I know what that means in statute law. That means they're going to use adult safeguarding. With the Care Act Plus 14, that would mean they're pushing other neighbours on me. Instead of look at me the holistic picture, housing, physical care, you know, it gets the word when they use complexity. It's like in their eyes with the cutbacks in the United Kingdom, funding nightmare, funding issue nightmare. But yet they can build and fund all these companies, and it's outsourcing, it's called, for various private companies all over the place. So when you are dealing and you find out that private medical companies, for example, are making profit out of the back of the public purse, selling off the assets like NHS assets and property services. So that's why there's a lot of this national NHS waiting list, people staying in their beds when they can't get the social care needs in statute law. And last time I ended up there, they said to me, they refused, by the way, as key public servant to refer me to, in the community, it's called short-term betterment service team, which I found out who certain people are. You never get this information until you find out. But since I ended up in hospital, end of last year, all these months, my immune system, my dental health is gone downhill. That limitates me to do everything else in my daily life I need to do. So that's one point of conditional acceptance offer, my recount claim offer, offering next week for service delivery of medical equipment. Right. Because it's medically loan, I conditionally accept these officer services under duress because I don't have independent sovereign finance to be literally with assets and tangible means for myself to be able to go and live independently without the state system to assist me. So there's thousands of people who get away with all sorts. I'm thousands like anyone out there, genuine, but I cannot be offered to give some services to meet my needs. There's nothing new. Right, the next point on the offer of the dental side, right. Since the struggling to talk on, I think it was the 20th of the 3rd, 2018, in what I didn't know was the offer of this, I could not find the policy of a home visit by public servants in the specialist dental services for people with complexity, illness and physical disabilities and psychological disabilities. So the department of this particular NHS Foundation Trust, public funded, also it is funded. It's a private company, but I won't go into all that right now. It was giving me the merry-go-round, constantly emails, to and fro, and then the cold calling. I did not know. That was last Wednesday. I'm sick in my bed again. This mobile call come out the blue, someone was outside. What? So I've checked the voice recordings, I've checked my emails. The last information I knew, that they said there wasn't any appointments available to offer, because they have to offer I don't know whether it's a male or female dentist in the job was public servant, with a dental nurse. Being in their terminology, they see individual like I as a vulnerable individual, so they need to come in pairs into my private home. So that is a conditional acceptance of offer under duress again, because I need that, and they can only prescribe with the prescription pads, the mainstream medications, antibiotics. But they omitted on the phone. Also, they cannot do any blood tests that I would need to see what's really going on, and that is called via, they call it general medical practice, i.e. NHS England funded services by medical practices for doctors, like in statute law it's known as GPs, doctors. So again, I've had this before last year, where these general practice medical doctors are not dentists, so they can easily misdiagnose you, and you can't talk like I was last year. They would send an ambulance round, and again they would misdiagnose you. They would just think it's a viral infection. Well, I know it's not, because my sister's been going through similar I'm going through as well, but she's able-bodied. So thank goodness for her help for the past months, because now I know what's going on. So officially, in the eyes of the statute law, the way it works, they can only get the birth certificate name. So as the man or woman, you're forced to represent that birth certificate name, and in trust law it's known as trustee. So the presumption is made by these public servants that are not aware of what all this knowledge I've learned and thousands of people have over the years, by signing or agreement to their offer services, a home visit, for example, this week, is they've done it a particular date on a Friday, so I'll end up in hospital. I'm sorry, we think you need to go in hospital, so all weekend, you know what it's like when there's only 9 to 5 doctors and hospitals working in their new contracts when they're being brought over aboard. That's how it all works now. And there isn't anybody really available to cover the wide hospital. I mean, it's massive. I mean, you know, depending obviously what you're there for, on what people shifts are doing. You've got a lot of these junior doctors, which all over the media for a long time saying about the dissolving of the NHS as we know it, to bring in Obamacare style privatisation's already here anyway, so you have to get insurance. And those that haven't got that kind of funds, well, what do you get? This is what I've been trying for natural remedies for a long time on my health, and well, things are not working as the way, my body's not working the way it was. So that's why I'm sharing this information, if it helps somebody else in position. Okay, so that's a dental service offer for the afternoon this coming week. I've now got another problem I'm dealing with. The offer, a Department of Works and Pensions, another national puppet. Thousands of people going through this, by the way. Okay, personal independence, and that's again a change. Until I get all these medical, community, public services, i.e. social services, it's all different departments doing their own job, and it's all complex. So in the job title role as public servants, but you can't go into as much as I know with them. It's just what goes on in the day-to-day. It's hard, it's right, when it's complex. And abbreviation down, it's very difficult to keep a diary when you're going through so much all at once. So this is mainly a blog video, really trying to deal with a very difficult complex situation at once. If I had my health stable for months, I would have considered the offer of these other public servants. They're paid by the public service to assess what your needs are. There's no guarantee, by the way, that you'll get any of the cutbacks going on nationally in this particular area. Been all over the mainstream media, and it's all about, I'm not into politics, but there's all this moving about deliberately to keep changing the gateposts, so thousands of people in my position do not know what department does what, who's responsible for what, and you're not informed. So the Disability Rights is a website. If you want to check it out, just Google it. Disability Rights, I think it's .net or .org. You've got Disability Law Service, which got fact sheets to download, and that's all in statute law. You might want to check that out. You've got Disabled People Against Cuts, but all this information I just quoted is all in statute law. They don't know half the things I've learnt over the years. So I'm coming from an angle that I know not everything, but from first-hand experience, a lot of this what I've been going through for years, and now I'm finding myself entrapped in this system where I need to really put my personal situation first. When you're dealing with so much help you need, and there's so much cutbacks, and even advice services, I got the blanket refusal, rejection of offer service by a community law service in my area. I absolutely, part of my complex ill health difficulty, calling up a call centre nationally to do with Department of Works and Pensions. It's a corporation, I know, head office in London, but this particular area is always about finding people fit for work. If I had my health, I've always said this, if I had my health, my ability, I would have been out of this country by now and with like-minded people, but I'm not in that position, so I'm dealing with what I've got, which is not a lot. Now, to get people on board, because the only reason why they refuse to investigate, and even my recent emails to public servants about what happened in my own home by public servants, and some of these were young people, hardly trained in care. Certain things I ain't going to describe now, what happened to me, nobody got held accountable. And that particular company is still in operation in my area. So I have to be careful not to say anything too much about that. Who knows what's listening and you playing this video back. And I said to this particular service, it's a company that provides advocacy for people in my situation. And I said many times before, emails as well, conditions acceptance offer offers always under duress. And the last email to them was to confirm a verbal offer on the phone. That's what I like to confirm it by email, to seek clarification what they said is factual. So I emailed this particular public servant social worker to say, well, it's a bit odd. Just because I have not seen a mainstream medical, i.e. community doctor, for what's been going on with my ill health, because of my experiences, what's been going on before, and I'll get misdiagnosed, the same pattern of events happen again. I'm concerned by that. I said, what could be offered now? Because when I blankly tried to make that email first, because I couldn't talk like this, and then nobody got back to me. And the email got back to me, I found it went in spam. It said, dear sir, and on the voicemail I left and the email, it made it clear I was a woman. So that's total disregard to my rights. And no, I have to. You don't have to anything, it's obligation. And the wording, the trying of domination was, you have to make that phone call. Well, I downloaded the statute law in the Welfare Report 2012 in the element section relating to personal independence. The key element is there is an invitation to claim, offer, or contract. The key wording to go back to them is by writing and recorded post by tomorrow. God forbid, whatever, if I can get through the blinking doctors again. And to state this fact that I am severely unwell, I am trying also my area, they call it a jogging service. I can't physically, when I'm so ill, get physically to this location, get literally a 5-10 minute consultation and then wait weeks for an appointment. I don't have weeks. So the only way is to seek clarification of the invite offer to claim PIP from the offer of a state system, public funded benefit. Now, when the man, the woman is classed as a trustee in trust law of the birth certificate, which you don't own, by the way, unless you claim it, which I'm not in that position to be a sovereign woman, especially in my position, thousands aren't me perhaps, then the public services, public employees will definitely use the statute law and will enforce. Yeah, so my way of writing for that subject is my conditional acceptance of offer, my counterclaim offer. Back in 2013, the offer contract was I only accepted, conditional acceptance was under duress. That's how I'm going to word it. With the copy of the proof that they are company to Clacton House, London head office, and the proof of their limited company, and then seek clarification of full disclosure of the current change of terms and conditions of the original offer contract in 2013, and add it to just to confirm that I am seeking support in the current unfortunate past months of complexity was illness disabilities. I am currently seeking the offer of goods and services by key, not saying who they are, but key public services, both in statute law, because these men and women only relate to that, by public services and combination and in relation to the statute law 2014 Care Act. Unfortunately, I cannot give you any dates of at the moment for that, and as soon as I'm able to, I will. I trust, well, I will reword it, and I will say I do intend to give you the nearest opportunity of offer of a date. In the meantime, could you provide as soon as possible in writing that the current offer goods and services with the disability living allowance offer is still in place as it states of September 2018. That's 5 months away. And your offer of a date to phone your particular company phone number of your department is not in line with any Disability Reasonable Adjustments Equality Act 2010 statute law to aid and assist people not just with certain types of disabilities conditions, but what about those with speech impairments, learning disabilities who may not have a friend or family member to aid them. And I am making inquiries to see who can assist me on this matter. Could you kindly respond back in writing only to confirm that you will accept my my confirmation of my current position, and it's seek the special on because of the terms of the particular circumstances I find myself in. I would require for your director in the area office to seek confirmation, because I cannot see any key wording within the statute law welfare Act 2014 that makes any provision for what I require. So I'm going to try and keep it simple worded. I'm saying that on here on this live stream, but I need to keep the simplistic wording in such a way that by responding in writing and special delivery to get there by a certain date, that will show I am conditionally under duress, seeking clarification, also informing them that I not by if you stay silent when you get an offer in the post, choose the trust name with the birth certificate. That means there's an automatic assumption there's a contract, okay, for the new terms and conditions, whether it's Universal Credit or PIP, okay, the public sector services. So that's the third thing. I can only do one thing at a time. But when the pressure's on, that's when it's been extremely careful to put your health first. And I suggest put some chill out music on to keep your mind, your body up, focused and pleased and stable. And remember, if you're having accepted of goods and services by public services, you need to keep certain paperwork on you. If you've got a bag, or if you're a bloke, you've got a backpack, because you need reference to that if you're stuck, God forbid, in a hostile environment. And then you've got no numbers, you haven't got your the birth certificate, statute, information, documentation that they like to use. That's the only way the system works in their United Kingdom system, until you claim that birth record, birth, live birth, birth certificate name to correct the sovereign as a living, breathing man or woman back. It's very, very, very difficult to actually, you cannot mix the two. So it's knowing how to condition acceptance or offer of public sector services or private limited company goods and services under duress, when you're not in the position to be in the private in trust law. If that makes any sense, or my way of trying to explain it might seem a bit difficult, I'm just not good at right now. So I'm going to keep this short because I need to make a note of what I've just done on an email. Okay, so I just going to end it there. So keep safe, everybody, and I hope this helps somebody, and just an update. Okay, thanks.